Hello and welcome to the Castle Race Series Race Officials Briefing for you lucky competitors. So before we start, let me just introduce myself. My name's Jamie Gordon and I'm a technical official, one of the guys in grey, and I just want to spend a few minutes with you just to go over the basic rules of triathlon for those newbies, and for those that have been doing this for some time, just a refresher on the basic cardinal rules with regard to having a safe, fair race. So let's have a look at slide 1. The role of the technical official is primarily to promote the enjoyment of the sport, but uphold the rules where safety and fairness may be compromised. By this, we're here to help you guys have a great experience. But if you look as though you're going to be unsafe, we're going to try and step in and stop you from doing something silly. Simple as that. We will use our common sense attitude at all times to be proactive with you to prevent penalties being issued. Now, that doesn't mean to say we're not going to penalise you if you do something daft. Okay, we don't want to do that, but bottom line is we want to make sure it's a fair race, it's a safe race, and that you guys have a great time at the end of the day. So, what are the rules? Now, pet peeves, I'm sure a lot of you will have these gel packs around with you. They're very small. They weigh 7 or 8 grams. They're full of this caffeine liquid that once you take it is going to turn you into Superman or Superwoman. But they're foil and they're horrible. They don't biodegrade. So what I would ask you to do is don't throw it on the ground and hope that somebody picks it up and puts it in a bin. Be responsible. Keep the gel, stuff it down the front of your tri-suit or put it in your pocket. You're going to have to wash all this kit anyway. Bring it back, dispose of it either in a bin or in the litter zone out on the course. But whatever you do, please do not drop it. Simple as. Okay, we're all responsible for our environment, so do not litter. Rule 2.1, my pet peeve. So second one, racing conduct. In this one, it's very simple. Treat people how you'd like to be treated yourself. All right. We want everybody to have a safe, enjoyable experience. So we ask you to, well, just basic human decency, respect everybody. If a technical official or a marshal or an event organizer or one of the volunteers is having a chat with you, take it from a point of view that we're wanting to help you, not that we're having a go and, you again get riled up and it ruins your day, it ruins my day, quite frankly. Look, be nice, be courteous, simple. Illegal equipment. What's illegal equipment? Don't carry a ghetto blaster around with you on the bike. Don't put ear pods in because they can distract you. Don't take your phone out with you on the course and expect to use it. You can take a phone with you if you really must do in case of an emergency because you're out on the roads, but don't use it to listen to your favourite music. If you need music, simply think of Agadoo. All right, I'll leave it there. Helmets, bugbear. The helmet must be clipped before you touch the bike and remain done up until the bike is racked at the end of the cycle stage. So when you're full of adrenaline, you've just come out of the lake, you're running up to the bike, put your helmet on first. Okay, put your race belt on, get yourself sorted, take the bike off the rack, go out and have a very, very enjoyable, quick, safe ride. Come back in one piece. But do not be tempted to unclip your bike helmet because you think it's going to save you a few seconds. Keep it on because you're coming into a very dangerous area, which is called transition. If you fall over and your bike helmet is off your head in an instance because it's unclipped, you could do yourself some serious damage. Not to mention, you won't look pretty in my transition area. So keep your helmet on at all times until you're actually secure with the bike on the rack. Then take it off because it's not a good look if you go running in it. Race numbers, the reason why we have race numbers on is so that you can get a great race photograph. That's one reason. The other is so that if we see you out and about and we need to take your number down for whatever reason, we can easily see it. So when you're going out on the bike, put it to the rear so it's on your back, and when you go out for the run, it should be on the front. If you can invest a couple of quid on eBay for a race belt, if you're new to this, then you only need the one number, fix it to your race belt with a couple of safety pins. You'll be able to spin it round to the back on the way out on the bike and then spin it round to the front on the way to the run. Okay, do not damage it because we need to know who you are. Okay, now there's lots of different races going on over a weekend, various distances from sprint to middle distance to standard distance. You will see different signboards, different colour signs depicting which route you're on. It is your responsibility to know the course. So please take time to read and understand the maps that are enclosed in the pack that you'll receive and on the signboards that are in the transition area, sorry, not the transition area, but the event village. Big scale maps, understand what route you're taking. Please do not rely on a marshal who is out on the course there primarily for safety, not directions. And if he points you or she points you in the wrong direction and you end up doing an extra 5 miles, Brian's not going to charge you for those extra 5 miles that you've had over and above the standard race distance. But please don't come to me and say a marshal sent me the wrong way and I got lost. Follow the course. It's well signposted. Check the maps before you go. If it's unclear, ask before you set out. Do not expect a marshal who's probably been sat there for 3 or 4 hours looking at different courses to understand which routes you're taking part in and direct you. They may know, they may not know. Better to take it on face value that they don't understand where you're going, so therefore you need to know. Transition, only bring what you need into transition. I've seen camping stools, I've seen people have picnics. It's not necessary. Leave all that stuff out. You only really need several pieces of vital equipment such as your helmet, your bike, your race number, and a bit of food. Jelly babies are my favourite, and if you see any of us walking around in grey, we like jelly babies. Did I say that? Yeah. But bottom line is just don't bring the kitchen sink. I know a lot of people are tempted to bring everything they own with regard to triathlon, but it just makes my transition area look untidy, and we like a tidy transition area. So just bring what you need, pare it down, please. Drafting, and I'm going to talk about drafting in a minute, but basically drafting is there for 2 special reasons. One is so you do not gain a competitive advantage by sitting on somebody's wheel and letting them do all the hard work. The second one is you're out on open roads. And if you're riding 2 abreast or very close to the cyclist in front of you, it's a safety issue. If you keep 10 to 12 meters, depending on whether you're doing a sprint, standard distance, half iron distance, we'll come on to this in a minute. If you keep that distance between you and the competitor in front, basically, if a car's overtaking you and can't make the full kind of overtake of 2 or 3 of you, there's that safety cell that he can come into or they can come into without impinging on your safety. And this is the vital point. It's there for your safety as much as to stop you getting an advantage by drafting the person in front. Please understand and please comply with that. I don't want to see any drafting out in the course. There will be motorcycle officials that will be whizzing around on their big motorcycles, making sure that you keep a distance. Now, let's talk about drafting in a little bit more detail. What is drafting? Now, the drafting zone is basically in a sprint or a standard distance. That's the Olympic distance also is 10 meters. And that is 10 meters from your front wheel to the front wheel of the bike in front. When we talk about safety zone also, that's basically, we'll get a car in there if they have to take avoiding action without wiping you out. So don't ride 2 abreast. Also, the distance in the middle distance, the gauntlet distance, is 12 meters. So again, that's from the front leading edge of the cyclist in front of you to your front leading edge, which is the front end of your bike here. If you're outside of that, you're playing fair. All right, you're not going to get any advantage but from the guy in front or the girl in front doing all the hard work and basically saving you 30%, 40% effort. Now, I know when I was racing, I'm a big unit, i.e. I'm a large guy. I would have people sitting behind me merrily within a metre or two of my back wheel and let me do all the hard work. And I have to say there was a few kind of expletives said along the way. Play fair. Drafting is cheating. Now, what's drafting or not drafting? The guy in green, girl in green, good guy, good girl. Okay, outside of the draft zone. This guy here, the drafting bike in red, he's cheating. Now this guy here, if he's just sitting here, basically blocking the good guy here from overtaking, he's blocking. That is also illegal and you can be penalized for it. Now when you enter the draft zone, that's this bit here, the shaded area. When you enter the draft zone there, basically in a sprint and standard distance, you've got 20 seconds to make your pass. If the pass cannot be made, you must drop back, and the guy that's being overtaken or the girl that's being overtaken, this one here, if you've got a bike coming level with you, basically your job is to drop back outside the draft zone. It shouldn't mean that you put your hand on the brake and slow down, because this guy here should be overtaking you and be faster. But it is not an excuse for this guy here, if he's being overtaken by this guy here, to suddenly think, oh, I'm not going to be overtaken by X or Y and I'm going to put an effort in. No, sorry, you've had your chance. Drop back, gird your loins, still yourself and go forward once that competitor here has overtaken you. All right, but you've got to drop out the draft zone. Don't draft behind any of our motorcycle officials. It's easy sport for them if they see you. They've got rear view mirrors. Cars, I was at an event a couple of weeks ago and a couple of guys were drafting an agricultural vehicle. They got disqualified. It's dangerous and it's illegal. Penalties, in a sprint, first offence, you get a 1 minute penalty. Second offence, you're disqualified. Don't do it. It's just not worth ruining your day. Standard distance, that's the Olympic distance, you get a 2 minute penalty for your first offence, and second offence disqualification. You're doing the gauntlet, basically you get pinged twice. If you get pinged the third time, you're DQ'd. The motorcycle officials do not have to provide a warning about a drafting penalty for safety reasons. They're in control of a very big, expensive motorbike. They're trying to keep out of your way, keep out of oncoming cars. And if they see you drafting, you'll hear their engine. They'll probably loiter a little bit just to make sure that you're not making an overtaking maneuver. And if they're satisfied, in their opinion, that you are drafting, and it is their opinion that matters here, not yours. Well, I was only taking a breath before I finished it doesn't matter. In their opinion, they'll ping you. All right. We don't want to ping anybody for drafting. Seriously. Don't do it. You don't need to. You're out, you're racing yourself against the clock. Yes, you want to beat the guys and girls around you. That's understandable. But please do it safely and do it fairly. Drafting is cheating. Now, if anybody wants to get hold of me, they can do. That's my email address, jamiegordon@triathlonengland.org. See me at an event or see any of the guys and girls in grey. We are friendly, we are approachable, we're here to help. And so therefore, please just say hello. You got a question, if you're new, you're excited, but you're nervous as well that you might transgress one of the rules, please just talk to us. We're human, we've all raced, we want to help. Thanks a lot, guys. Enjoy your race.